I used to think I wanted to be like that exclusive celebrity trainer, you know, like how Kevin Hart has a trainer. That one guy.
That's it.
Because all right, then I'm getting paid 6 figures training one guy. Yes, I want more than that, you know. I just see the potential. Like everyone knows, oh, you have this potential, and like finally, I feel like I'm tapping into it, and I've never taken the opportunity. I've never grasped it. I never said, okay, let's see what I can work with, you know. Which is why this last year I've grown exponentially. But I'm putting myself out there a lot.
What's up, everyone? You're tuning into the Diamond Strong podcast. It's where you come feeling good and you leave feeling great. The action starts now. Bro, I really wanted to start from the beginning. So I wanna understand not only you, but like where you come from, like where the passion for this started.
Yeah.
Well, we got a little bit of time, so let's start from the beginning, bro. Like,
all right, I'm from Queens, New York. Born and raised. Played sports my entire life. Grew up playing soccer, basketball, football. All my friends were athletic. Played in high school. After my mom passed away when I was around about 20 years old, I came down to Miami to study architecture. I did that for a few years. Got my degree in architecture. Was completely sedentary. Gained probably my head was about 2 weeks. Yeah, when I left New York and I came down to Miami, it was just complete like 180 shift, you know. Sedentary, studying, late nights, fast food, Dunkin' Donuts, Monsters, just that kind of lifestyle versus, you know, getting home after work and grabbing a ball and having a party for hours. So, became obese, kept that weight on for a few years. I'm gonna say 2009, 2010. I went back to New York for like a contract job. Was doing some like drafting up there for some like aquatic engineering company. And my best friend had just been a trainer. Big dude, 6'5". He's actually down here now. He's a trainer now. But 6'5", you know, like 280, like an offensive lineman, defensive lineman. He's like, Serge, be my guinea pig. I was like, what do I have to lose, you know? So I'd work 9 to 5, meet him at the gym 6. I'd lift with him, go home, you know, basic stuff, oats, eggs. Throughout the week, on the weekend, I'd have my slides, we'd go out, have maybe a drink. But I was like pretty religious with the workout and lifting. Put me on like normal supplements, multivitamin, creatine. It was a new consistency, you know. Within, I want to say, 10 months, I dropped down to like 200. And within that time, I decided to get my cert, because I like to learn. I didn't think I was going to be a trainer or anything like that. Like, I started skiing, or I want to get a skiing certification, and that's my thing, you know? Decided to come back. They offered me a full-time position. I decided to come back to Miami. When I came back, things were still slow, you know, the recession and all that. So I started to train. I decided to pick up training part-time. So my ex at the time was training with a fitness manager over at Fitness. Ended up getting a job, and within the first month, I probably had 10, 12 months. It just kind of it was a new niche that just clicked, you know? To the point where I remember my manager was like, "Are you not telling me something? What's
the secret, bro? What are you doing?"
And it was just I guess being personable, and I just gave my 100%. But me, with the personality I have, type of person I am, I give 100%. I gotta be the best. I gotta do better. I gotta learn. So another cert. I went from level 1 to level 2, level 3 trainer to a master trainer. At 24, I finished and ended up being a fitness manager. Was there 6-7 years. Wow. 12 plus certifications, 13 plus certifications. Went back to school. I wanted to do my DPT, my doctorate in physical therapy forever. That's kind of the route I wanted to take. What was my next step? The officer was like, look, do these classes, you get your degree in exercise science, and then you can, you know, transition into DPT. I'm like, sure. And then I'm getting my degree in exercise science from New York. Exercise science from FIU. and just kind of continued within like that same kind of realm. Left 24 Hour Fitness, went to UFC for about a year, UFC gym in Kendall. Was there about a year, did well. I think my first month, I saw like 40,000, 50,000 in my PT because all my clients followed me.
Yeah.
You know? Was there about a year, went well. I just felt like I'll do it every place. You get to a point where you like, I don't like to be comfortable. You know, like I like to challenge myself. I like to surround myself around people who are better than me, you know? So like once you get to, and I'm not saying I was the best there at that time or not, but I just felt like I needed the next phase.
You wanted to learn more.
Right. So I got offered a position at Equinox for like, I was in the transition, either fitness manager at Equinox or private. So I took a risk. You know, it's not always sunshine and rainbows going private, but I took a risk and I went private. I started my private career at a gym called Pro Body Tech by Tamiami Airport with an old mentor of mine. And I was there maybe a year. Again, almost all my clients followed me, 20-something. And I started interning at this physical therapy clinic called Athletics Recovery and Rehab under Dr. Kyle and Dr. Sharif. Extremely hard to get into. They admit like one person a semester. And I didn't think I was gonna get it, you know. And I remember in the interview, Kyle, who were like best friends now. And mentors, but also like
friends.
Yeah, really good friends, you know. He was like, you know, he interviewed me. He was very like transparent. Like, look, I have like another 15 more interviews to go today. You know, another like 20 tomorrow. But he's like, I actually like everything about you. My only hesitation is with someone with your qualifications and experience. You may not learn like our way of doing things, you know. And I was like, I totally get it, but I'm the other way. I want to be exposed. I want to come into this knowing that I know nothing, you know. And this was already, I don't know, 8 years of experience. But physical therapy is a whole different animal. You know, I had my corrective exercise. I had a few different like certifications in like rehab, but it's not being therapy. Yeah. So I think that same night, like, the next morning, we were like, hey, send all your info to, you know, this person, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, shit, cool. And I knew they worked with athletes. I wanted to do that. I wanted to see, you know, what it was like. Started there. I was there about 6 months. Amazing. I learned so much. Super knowledgeable guys. And that's where I met David Njoku. That's where I met Mike Pinckney and a few other guys. You know, Kyle trusted me because he saw like I was, I guess, natural, very comfortable with them, able to push them. I caught on quick. I don't like stepping over anyone's toes, so it's not like I was there to like push at all. Yeah. But I think they offered me a position, but I decided to private, like continue my stuff training. And I remember I think it was like July. I remember I was moving into my new apartment. That same day I had a box in my hand. Hey Serge, he's like, what are you doing this week? I'm like, working, you know? And he's like, all right, you're getting on the plane tonight or tomorrow morning at like 6 a.m. Come on LA. I need you. And I was like, sure. And that was like the beginning of our like actual like friendship. He flew me out there. Had the honor to work with him. Odell Beckham was there, Jarvis Landry was there, Baker Mayfield, Farrell Brown, all these guys were there. Got in a few workouts in, did some rehab. And since then we were kind of like locked in. I was like one of his guys, you know, up until last year that he kind of made me his like official off-season guy. You know? Nice. He goes to Bob Marito's up north, and then he works with me for like more strength and conditioning. And that kind of just opened up a lot of them. Yeah, just more athletes, some UFC fighters. I still have a good relationship with Kyle and Sharif. I go to their like birthdays, we hang out. Nice. And yeah, I mean that's where it's been. That led to influencers and actors, and, you know, a little bit of everything. You know, I'll train I'll train anyone and everything. I've had clients in wheelchairs. I've had overweight. I had, you name it. You know, I've had IFBB pros. A little bit of everything. You know, I wouldn't say I'm the best at anything, but
you can kind of form and make sure that everybody gets what they need.
I try my best.
So it's crazy because did you like school growing up? Did you enjoy school?
No, so originally like elementary school, junior high school. Yes. You know, once I got to high school, it was just sports and music. I played the piano growing up and stuff like that. So that's all, and then like hanging out with my friends. You know, when I did architecture, I was somewhat obsessed with it. You know, I was pretty good, but just getting that like punch in the face with like trying to get jobs, recessions, like starting from scratch, being overworked for like it was a tough moment, and I never thought I would be training. I did, like, even when I applied, I was like, all right, this would be, you know, part time is great. You know, I get to wear sneakers and go to, you know, shorts in the gym all day. Make, you know, they paid decently well for like what it was, and it just kind of blossomed, you know, into what it is today. And I've done a few seminars. I've had a few trainers under me. I coach a few trainers. I try to mentor. You know, I'm always open to giving advice. I have trainers reach out to me all the time. Yo, so what do you do? You know, when a client doesn't want to pay, or this or that, or scheduling, or how do you manage all this, and how do you program it? I'm always like an open door, you know, because I know it's not easy. You know. It's very hard running. Everyone just looks at the line and they're like, oh, okay, he trains this person and that, and they don't see the hours that I put in, the days, the nights, you know, though getting up at 4, 5, 6 is a late day for me. You know, I get home. I get home an early day. I get home at 9. You know, if I'm home at 8 p.m., I don't even know what to do. I'm like, this is weird. Yeah, I usually so. It's a lot of man hours. Yes, you know, with experience and the education and the clientele base, you know, yes, I do well. I've worked hard for it, earned it.
Absolutely.
But even then, it takes a toll. And I tell every trainer, like, oh my, like they see like,
I want that.
Right, and I'm like, just know that it's a grind, and it's not just because you're great as a trainer. Like, I mean, or you know, you have an exercise knowledge base. Can you apply that? You know, because you can read all the books in the world, but if you don't know how to apply that to your client, is one thing. If you don't have the personability to just engage with your clients, for them to trust you, for them to communicate with you, that's another thing. To sell also is a big aspect.
I was about to ask you about that. That's like, did you learn that? You think that like 24?
Oh yeah,
I
was a horrible salesman.
Really?
I actually had two of my good friends and mentors also. Brian Thomas, who was like, he was my fitness manager when I was just a trainer. He came in like month 2, and it was him and this guy Ty Gomez, who was my club manager. These guys, man, they'll literally wipe out all your credit cards. Like, they're excellent. I've had clients literally, Sergio, I want to train with you, I'm trying to train with you, but I can't. And I'm like, and they would always tell me, just come grab me. Like, you know, they would have me practice, try to sell it, you know. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, I totally understand. Just talk to my manager. Maybe they can help you out. Which I meant that. You know, it wasn't like and they would come in and they say, no, I see the credit card side. You know, like, I know. And I would sit in, I would learn, and it's all about verbiage. It's all, you know, like, a lot of people say they can, but do they want it? Yeah, they do. They need the structure. They need the accountability, but they can't afford whatever such and such, you know, a month or weekly or whatever the payments were structured at that time. But then they go and spend $100, $150 on a dinner, or $500 on a bag, or $1,000 on a bag, or whatever they think is what they need, which is versus, or it's really what they want versus what they need. You know, so once you start to just learn how to formulate like the correct pitch, you know, and it's not to just sell and sell and sell, but like, look, I can help you. If you can trust me, I can get you to exactly where you want. You know, whether that be a 3-month period, okay, let me get you there. You invested that money into yourself. You're not paying to get a bag that's not giving you anything back. Nothing. You're not paying a dinner like, all right, great, we had dinner, but then you gained another 5 pounds and you feel like crap the next day.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
So that's kind of like, it's just about formulating like the right pitch to like word usage to just get the message across. Like, look, you're investing in yourself. I know it seems that way, but you are. Because it's not a problem spending $1,000 on an iPhone.
No, of course.
Right.
You won't even ask
$100. Then go. But get a gym membership for $30, $50, $80 a month. And a year later, you probably went to the gym 3-4 times. But they're taking your money away. But you're not throwing your money away there. So,
isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. Isn't that's like the best way that gyms make money is people that come.
I just realized I was still getting charged from Crunch Gym the other day, and it was like $10. I was like, I called and I canceled. No, you downgraded. I'm like, no, I canceled. And of course, they give you the whole, to lock in. You got to go in person, or you have to send a mail, an actual mail. I'm like, a mail. Like, who does that anymore? Like, you can email. Like, so they try.
They're good at it. They're really good at it. All right. So if you're back in New York, and did you ever realize hey, this could change my life? Like going to Miami, ever a spot, hey, this is where I want to be. Why did you?
So I think here only because after my mom's passed, New York kind of completely affected me. It's dangerous. It's expensive. It was there, and don't get me wrong, I love New York till the day I die.
Yeah.
I ride or die New Yorker. I just felt like I needed to change. I just had this shadow on me, and I took the opportunity because my ex was coming down. Her entire family was here, so I was like, sure, why not? It was just from one day to the next. I was like, let's go. Came down here and I hated Miami.
Oh, that was my next question. I was like, did you like it when you got here?
I hated Miami with a passion the first 4 years I got here. And I know all the Miamians are probably gonna come at me and get out of here. It's cool, But it was a multitude of things, like the speed of how everyone operates. I remember standing at Publix and I'm or at a gas station, I'm there trying to buy some gum. And in New York, it's like, look, if you're in my way or you're taking too long, it's like, look, here, it's $1 here, here's $2.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Yeah. No, a lady in front of me, she has a carton of milk, but she's talking to the cash register about, that the traffic and on this and that and the construction, and I'm just like, what's going on here? And then it's just very, very slow pace. I have no worries in the world. And New Yorkers aren't that. New Yorkers it's same rude, but it's kind of look, I got somewhere to be, So if you're not efficient, excuse me, I gotta go, So that took me a very long time. The driving, horrendous. I tell everybody in Miami drive with blinders. It's about that. I'm on the outside lane, but I gotta go over there. So or let me stop at the exit of a shopping center. Block everyone trying to get in and out to put on a little bit of lipstick. Who does that? And you see it. You're like, why is this person stopping? You're just it's just things like that. That bothered me. I'm just, I speak Spanish. I grew up in a Hispanic home. And I remember one of my first week here, I go to Target or Walmart, I don't remember, somewhere in West Kendall. Mm-hmm. And I go and I'm looking for hangers. I'm like, excuse me, I'm like, do you know where the hangers are? And she's like, ¿qué? And I was like, and I remember how shocked I was. I was like, what? I'm just, it just didn't come. I was like, hangers? And I didn't even think to speak Spanish. I was just so dumbfounded. Hangers? She's like, a manager, yeah. And I was like, and I remember looking at my ex-girlfriend, I was like, what just happened? And she spoke perfect, she was Colombian, spoke perfect Spanish, and she was just like, oh. Because in New York, you go to the bodega, Dominican, Indian, whatever, even if they speak with an accent, hey, good morning, or, they try, there's no effort. They look at you like you're talking to me in English, or the assumption you speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Whether you're white, black, Asian, whatever, they're gonna talk to you.
You better.
Right. So I was just like, whoa, and I found that rude at first. I get it now, but it took me a while. I was like, no, I hate this.
You don't think it's rude now?
I mean, yeah, it's right. We're at the end of the day, we're in the United States of America. It's not little Cuba. It's not little Venezuela. It's not it's United States.
It is.
So you should be immediately. You should be hello, how are you? Hey, buenas, ¿cómo estás? Okay, fine, or at least English, Spanish.
No, they're
none of that.
Nada para allá.
Yeah.
So talk to somebody else.
it's one of those that, like, I guess I've accepted it, which is what you have to do, right? Because it's never going to change.
No, it's not.
So, but funny enough, I went back to New York when I was doing the architecture. And though I had a great time there, and I almost stayed, when I came back, started studying, doing training, I remember going back for like Thanksgiving or Christmas. I usually go 2-3 times a year. My entire family's up there. I'm here by myself. So I remember going back after that, and I just looked at New York differently. I was just like, whoa, it's so dirty, it's so gloomy, it's cold, it's expensive. I was just like, versus Miami, like you come back any day, you have your palm trees, you can go, out to the beach. I was just like, all right. I think it finally transitioned.
You made the switch.
And since then, I've been trying to get my friends out here for just you should go to Miami. Yeah, you can do that in Miami. Oh, in Miami it's better, and I become like a Miami like so it's funny. Yeah.
So now you love it. Now you're.
Yes, I love the city. A lot of opportunities, lots of things to do. It's a beautiful city. The people can be hit or miss,
Nah, bro, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Absolutely.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Yo, I got people watching.
I know. I mean, hey,
I'm kidding.
you guys know.
Absolutely, bro.
It can be hit or miss,
But it's a thing that I think it's just about people. You hit on it. Like it's relationships, right? Like what you do. Yes, you're a trainer, but you even mentioned that how important like being personable is and
Right.
having relationships.
Right.
Do you think people here are just completely missing that?
It's everyone,
Not everybody. Sorry.
Not everyone. But like the general consensus.
Yes.
Okay? It's funny. I mean, I think Instagram has a huge influence on society, first of all. It has its pros, it has its cons. But with that, everyone's manifesting, everyone's meditating, the stones this, the stones that, the signs, spirituality. Are you really doing that? And are you actually applying that into your life? Because for a very long time, I was meditating, and I opened my app in 5 minutes and 10 minutes and it wasn't doing anything. Until I actually really started to meditate. Like, all right, I had an intention behind my meditation, I encourage everyone to go do therapy. Everyone, whether you're in a good place or bad place, it doesn't matter. Because you get to speak out your thoughts, your emotions, to open up, to become vulnerable, which no one in Miami likes to be vulnerable or transparent. It's all like a very superficial level, It's I'm good, I'm doing great, and you feel like crying.
We just talked about that yesterday, bro.
It's
literally
insane,
exactly.
And again, I don't try to front or anything. No, I work on myself daily, and I have good and lows and bad days and days that I'm like, what am I doing? And other days I'm like, whoo, today was a great day. But it's about being aware of where you are and where you want to be. We all have this potential. Are you vibrating on your highest potential? And if you're not at your highest point, respect where you strive to be. Are you in that direction? Are you in that pathway? And if you're not, okay, what changes can you make to get on that path? And also, more importantly, what do you have to eliminate to clear that path for you? Because one of the things is like your surrounding. Who do you hang out with? A lot of people, are energy vampires, or they hold you down. Like no, you're good. They hold you down, and you need like the boys. But everyone grows. You have phases. You grow in elementary school, and then high school, and then everything. Your co-worker school, but it's phases, right? So where are you in life? Where do you want to be in life? Who is on that same level? And it's not about using people. It's about being aware and understanding. Okay, this isn't for me anymore. This is what I have to do. This is, and it's about you. It's not about anyone else. It's about you. We like to blame and this happened because my manager and my friend didn't call me or no. What can I do better? Replace them or her or him with I did this and that because I didn't do this, or I wasn't forward with my intention. I wasn't upright, forward, transparent with what I really wanted to do. Hey, we should hang out. Yeah, cool. But we never do. We never call. How about, hey, You free next week, like Monday or Tuesday? I'm open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What day works for you? That's being very direct, very intentional. Wednesday, all right, but Wednesday we'll grab some wings. Cool. That's showing you intention that I want to hang out with you. Versus like, we'll hang out. And 6 months pass by and
nothing happens.
And that's very Miami.
It is.
Why? Because people are waiting for the best thing to happen, right? So, meaning, we should hang out this weekend, cool. And then somebody else tells them that. But you know what? You want to go grab wings. You want to go to, 11, and then I got a boat, I got a yacht. I invited to. Looks like I completely forgot I had this thing though. I can't go
on Thursday or Friday, right before,
because I want to go on the yacht. You tell me that 9 out of 10 people in Miami don't do that. Of course they do, right? Because it's the better option of the three. Versus like you look at my calendar, I put everything down on my calendar. I stopped trying to weigh out the better option, which is why I'm always doing something, mostly with my clients. My clients have become my friends. I have this many. I know the world, but I have this many friends, and they're usually my clients. Like David's probably one of my closest friends. My other client Juan, my other client Chris, and my one guy that I brought from New York, Ethan. But he's got his work, he's got wifey, and understand. But being very intentional about what you want to do. So, next month I got this thing that I'm doing, a network event, the 22nd at 7. I'm free. Boom, locked in. That's it. So then the week before, oh my God, look, I got this part. Look, I got something at 7, but if I could pass by after, I would. Oh, you always have something to do. Yeah. Because I keep my word, Unless it's something extremely important or something, obviously I have to change it, and I'm honest about that. I can't make it. I apologize because this happened. But there's a difference in how you navigate now your schedule and what you do. And then my free time. That's when, clients, hey, look, I got this thing, I got this event, cool. Or I now thoroughly enjoy me time. This Sunday, I got invited to a few things. I was like, I needed a me day, which usually Sundays are like my errands, the laundry, clean the crib, groceries, prep. I think I went to like my pool for like a couple hours. Got a little bit of color, which I haven't been doing. I have a pool and I don't use it, like everyone. And then at night I was like, I want to go to the movies. And I took myself on a date. I legit just sat there. I think I watched Dungeons and Dragons just because it was on like, have you heard of Screen X? It's like 3 screens now. So like it wraps around you. It's pretty cool, dude. It's pretty cool. So I just wanted to see like the experience, like the movie was crappy. Sorry, Dungeons and Dragons. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, and I was like, I loved it just because it was just me. I got my popcorn, I was just vibing. Yeah. And then like I got home and I'm like, that's it. Sundays are me day unless something specific, a birthday, a baby shower, whatever. Something that I should be at, I'll go. Other than that, I don't need to go to a brunch. I don't need to go, oh my God, let's go to, no, I'm good. I do nothing. So, yeah.
What's funny is that you said something very important when we started about when you were doing architecture and being overworked. Do you think you work harder now?
I work extremely hard, but I love what I do. Not that I don't love what I did with architecture, but I was also working for other people. I work for myself now. When you work for yourself, I got to wake up at 4 in the morning, at 3, at 5. If I got to stay out till 11, though everybody's like, I'm always outside, but I'm also networking as well. Yeah, I'm gonna stay out, So it's different. It's different when it's for you, That's why I have the ability, the energy, the drive to do it. And it's not easy. Don't get it twisted. Like there's days I don't have the energy. I get here at my 6 a.m. class and I'm just like zombie mode, which I don't like either because they're paying me for a service and I should be on.
Absolutely.
But then even then they're like half asleep also.
Yeah, I mean,
we're very like honest.
You're a human,
yeah, of course. And I don't do caffeine. I don't take any pre-workouts. I haven't had alcohol since December. I just stopped. So yeah, it's rough without the coffee.
I'm about to say I just had one right now.
Yeah, it's rough. I see the cafecitos, I see the pre-workouts, and I'm like,
why did you stop?
I just didn't want any stimulants in my body. At least for now. I'm not saying I'm always going to be on it. I've never really been big on caffeine. I like coffee, but I can do a decaf. I just like the taste of coffee. I had a coffee every single day for like a year, and then I can completely get off of it. I'm not like addicted to like, I don't have an addictive personality.
Hey, that's really good.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask a question because you obviously like you're talking about your clients as your best friends, but you're also talking about some very high profile athletes, very successful people. What do you think as somebody that is dealing with clients of that status, whatever people want to say, even though we know they're regular human beings, like what do you think is most important to people like that when training them? Like what is most important? Because again, there's plenty of people with a lot of knowledge, like why you?
I think it's a multitude of things. One, you have to deliver, plain and simple. You know, yes, I'm not the best. I'm not the worst. There's trainers. There's an abundance of trainers in the field. I think everything correlates with one another. One, your level of service, right? Your education / experience, what you bring to the table. Two, how you can take your knowledge and apply it to what they need, right? So my football players, how can I create the programs necessary, needed to translate that onto the field to make them better and also keep them healthy and so on and so forth. Or the fighters, or my influencers or whoever, right? How can I get them to their goals? But personal training, I remember, I forgot what cert I did, or seminar I did, that when they talked about personal training, it's all encompassing. They were like, look, you're their personal trainer, you're their coach, you're their motivator, you're their bodyguard, you're their therapist, you're their best friend, you're just a listener. Like I've had clients that go and just like the whole session, because maybe the husband or the wife or the boyfriend or work or they've been stressed out. I've literally had a client literally come in and just say, Sergio, we're going to breakfast. And I'm like, yeah, but no, we're going to breakfast. Let's go. Wow. And just dish it out. So it's more than just the training. Because I could be a great trainer. I could get you a six-pack right now with shoulders and everything. But if you just don't vibe with me, you're not going to want to come. So it's personal training. Personal comes before the training. You have to be able to click. Now, high-profile athletes also, yes, they expect a high-level trainer. Like yes, they need. If David comes in here and he's bored with the workout, you would see it on his face, and he wouldn't come out. But then I also, if I overwork him, he's like, all right, no, dog, I'm not going back here. Right. It's a very fine line to where pushing him, making him better, challenging him, but not killing him, because then that's another mistake. Inexperienced trainers are going to do. I just want to kill him. I'm gonna give him all
everything, all my ammo.
And I push him hard, but he's also a freak athlete. He's a beast, So I kind of navigate and listen. Yes, I have my program in there, but some days they just don't got it. Some days like, hey, look, my ankle, or can we just focus on this to do? Yeah, it has to be adaptive. It's not just my way or the highway, or their way, or because they might think they know better, but I'm the professional, right? I'm not even telling why you caught the ball this way and catch the ball, because he was on the field at that moment. So it's all of it. It's all of it. How do you deal with them? Bring your 100%. Make sure you deliver on your results. Engage. Know that whatever you're charging, or look back and reflect. Like, am I worth this service? Am I giving the $500 worth, $300, $1,000, whatever it is, of service to this client, or am I just there to like another, for the glamour, or
whatever,
or just even if like, because I have mixed clients, I just there waiting for my high profile, and then my high profile, all right, cool, let's.
Now I'm gonna give it my all.
Right, like no, it needs to be the same with every client.
Serge, when we're talking about business, right? Yes. Like when it comes to the business side of it, and you're talking about pricing, you're talking about all those things. Like, did you ever have a time that you had to like say, okay, man, like it's about time? I'm sure there was a point that maybe you were undercharging, right? Like, was there ever a time like that?
Yes, but no. I think like I started at 24 Hour Fitness. I think like at $60 a session.
Okay.
you know, which wasn't bad. And this was, I don't know, 2009, 2008, you know, so $60 an hour. Now, but obviously I didn't get that entire thing.
Of course.
You have to bonus and you have to hit a certain amount of sessions and all that to like even get about a little more than half of it, you know. But even then, back then, 35, 40 bucks in your pocket, not bad. Plus, if you bonus, you got the commissions check, and so it was. And I hit every month. Every month, I was maximum, like hitting my maximum, like bonus and maximum payout and everything. But then seeing that, and then I clearly moved from 60 to 65 to 70 to 75 to master trainer to 50. So at 24, my career was, I don't know, maybe like $75, $80 a session. Having 8 to 10 clients a day, plus bonus, you know, commission bonus of like everything I sold, which I was selling like 10 grand, 12 grand, 15 grand, 11 grand, 9 grand, like every month I was just producing. So my checks weren't bad, you know, and that was like my first couple of years. Then I go to UFC, and technically by their standards, you know, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, I think their level 1 trainer started at like $80 a session, all the way to what I was level 5 trainer was $150 a session.
Wow.
So then when I left there, I brought down my prices from 150 because my clients were following me, but I still kept them high. I was up there. I think I started. I was like, all right, I'll bring it down to like 90. This was like 8 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And just from there, and then you think about it, what do I do or this or that? And every year you just add 5, and you add like, and that's the way I did. I was like, you know, I don't want to get greedy. I don't care who I have. Just, and maybe I add 10, 5, 15. I played with it a little bit. But yeah, as every year, all my clients know, every January 1st, boom, you know, you want to rack up on 50 sessions right before, go for it, I don't care, you know.
Oh, you're cool with that too, right?
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of my clients stick with me. That's one big thing, you know, of course, I have clients, I'm also expensive, so not everyone can, you know, like, it takes a certain type of client who can afford me year-round, you know. Some of my clients pay me 6 months in advance. That's not a cheap little tab, you know. Other clients pay me, I usually take month to month, you know. But they're local, you know, they're extremely low. And with those that are like grandfathered in, I do raise my rates, very, very small percentage, to like keep them in the loop. Brand new clients, I have a new rate, you know, and so on and so forth. So there's different systems behind it, but yeah, you have to, with the time that, you know, like we go to the barber and the price goes up, and then I tell the lady, oh my God, you got me. I'm like, yeah, we go to the nail salon. That went from 50 to 80 to 100. You're paying 150 for your nails.
Yeah.
Or you don't tell your stylist like, oh, I can't like give me the prices right. So like, the prices got to go up, you know. And then I also travel. I drive to my clients in Brickell, Midtown, Wynwood, Grove, Gables. So that's like double my fee pretty much because like I lose half an hour going and half an hour back. That's an hour plus my hour of training. So I try to play with it a little bit. I have my set rate, but depending on who the referral comes from. If I know they're a serious client, this is long term, we're going 4 or 5 sessions. I don't really go by frequency. You know, a lot of people are like, all right, if you train 5 times a week, this much if you train 4. Because you pay me, all right, 5 times a week would be a lower rate, let's say. Great. But what happens when we don't train 5 times a week? We do this, and then we train 3 and then 4 and 3. So you got a lower session rate. You got a lower session rate, but we're not even training on frequency because I want to train you 5 times because I'm going to burn through those sessions.
Yeah, exactly.
So that didn't work out. So frequency, I personally don't do frequency.
Wow.
I do monthly packages. This is it. You now buy 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. All right, we can work with it. You know, if I, like I said, if I know you're going to be long term, I'll start you off here, this and that. But I don't vary far from like it's usually like a friends and family discount, my client discount, and then my professional athletes pay a different rate. They're a lot more. You're looking at addition and subtraction, and you know physics and
that's a different
calculi, right? Differential equations. So some movements might be some of the same, but it's just completely different program. So yeah.
You know, that's one of the things I wanted to ask you, and I think I totally forgot because I missed it earlier. But when you're training different types of athletes, right? It's not you don't only go athlete, you know, person,
right? No.
Like you go different athletes.
Yeah.
Like, how did you learn? Like, where did you learn to
I mean, like certifications, and you always have to be learning. Like CSCS is strength and conditioning certificate to like training professional athletes. I got my strength. I forgot what it's called. The strength and performance from NASM also, and I got it from NCSF. So yes, that gives you a base principle to program design and all that. But it's exercise science and fitness is always ever evolving. Always. Before carbs were bad, now carbs aren't bad. Now fat, keto diet's good, and now it's bad. It's I tell everybody, look, if keto works for you and you can stick to it and you feel great. If being plant-based feels great for you and you're shredded and you look great, not everyone's going to be shredded off of plant-based. The influencer who has a great bodybuilding body and he's plant-based, one, he probably has great genetics. Two, it works for his either blood type or genetic predisposition. That works for him.
Yeah.
You might need more of a carnivore type of diet. I'm more of a meat eater. I try the plant-based, and I tried every diet just because before I give it to you, I need to try it.
Yeah.
The booty exercises and all that. I need to see where that works, what that hits before I give it to her. Just because I see it on Instagram, okay, cool, that's cool. All right, do 50 of these. She may not feel it,
Yeah.
Or when she says, well, I don't feel it. Oh, well, you're doing it wrong. No, I need to know why. So I do my own research and development to see what works, what doesn't work, what's trash. There's a lot of trash out there, a lot. And then some of it has some substance in it, but it's about applying it to the right specific case. This band exercise, whatever, but what are you doing it for? Are you some fitness influencer that you need to really sculpt your booty? Because performance-wise, it's not going to do anything for your glutes.
Yeah.
It's
not going to make you faster, jump higher.
Right. But I can use that for her to so it's just, and that's one example, but that research and development, and then learn how to translate that into whatever the person needs. That's the biggest, and program design and all that. There's many ways, are we focusing on power, speed? Is it more of a deload week and all that? So yeah.
No, that's it. It gets so deep, man. That's why I love training so much. I've been doing it my whole life, so I kind of see how people can completely transform.
Yeah.
How does it feel to see somebody that comes in?
That's another part of to see that transformation, to know that I've kind of put I've had a piece of that, right? It's probably one of the most gratifying feelings for me, to have had people that I've trained, help them put on stage for IFBB Pro or NPC competitions, or again, like David. David, we put in some blood, sweat, and tears. We worked hard, and he trains twice. He goes to Abreu during the day. They kill him. He does his field work out there, sleds, route running, things like that. And then he'll come at me at night, which he's showing up right now, 7, 8, and we'll work 2, 3. A short day is an hour and a half.
Wow.
We work 2, 3 hours. A short week, 3 times a week to 5 times a week. And we go hard. And no one see, they'll see a workout here, a workout there, but they don't see the blood, sweat, and tears. So he flies me out during the season to get a little work in and stuff like that. And whether he flies me out or not, I watch every game. And he's in there, and I don't care about anything on the field other than I'm he doesn't even touch the ball, he doesn't even do a block, and I'm
you're watching him.
He's on the bench, and I'm watching him, and he catches the ball and goes for 1 yard, and I'm jumping off. How did you feel when he catches the touchdown? Yeah, no, my heart's pounding. When he caught that, that one-handed catch this year, I remember I was on the plane and I purchased a Wi-Fi to watch a game, and everybody thought I probably yelled "mom" on the plane. I was I remember he called that, and I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm so sorry. It's just I was now focus, and and I got off the plane immediately, and he called me, he's like, yo, Serge, and I was like, yo, I got that work, And yeah, we have a good friendship, good bond. He's a good guy, hard worker, and everyone gets hurt, everyone goes through it, but he ball out. He's gonna ball out.
What kind of advice would you give to other guys that of course, man, everybody sees now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we've talked about during this time, we've talked about everything that you've had to go through to get to the point where you're now training the top of the top athletes, right? But what kind of advice would you give somebody that's starting? If you were to do it all over again, where would you go? Be a little different? What would you do?
That's a good question. So like I said, it's a little bit of everything, right? It's a little bit of the education. You gotta further your knowledge. It's about your passion and what you give, your presentability, how you organize yourself and with your clients, from client folders to your scheduled sessions to your payments, to I have my accountant, my financial planner, lawyer, like I have it all to make sure I'm good, where you locate yourself as well, your networking abilities, every single facet is important. It's critical. Where you start to how you transition. I think a big portion for me has been that, I think a big part is that I started at 24 Hour Fitness. For me, it was a good place to learn some of the ropes. I would tell any trainer starting off, go work at a corporate gym to start. Wherever you're choosing, depending on your location and all that, I would go 24 Hour Fitness wasn't bad, Equinox is great, Anatomy, if you can get into those, usually they want slightly more experienced trainers. But yeah, a high-end gym, Equinox is good because they also have their own schooling. So you go to tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier X. But Anatomy also invests into their trainers, and I know they do workshops and stuff. So something like that, because it's going to create the structure needed to manage your own personal training business. Because, okay, you picked up a client now. How are you going to schedule it? Then you picked up 5. Okay, well, you have 7 a.m. and then 12 and then 3 and then 9. Like, I don't do that. I don't play that. I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Small gap where I work out, go home, walk my dog, eat, shower, change, 10-minute nap, alarm, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, am I 7 canceled? I immediately text my, hey, can you make it a 7? My 9, hey, can you make it an 8? Or can I bump up? Because I don't like gaps. Because then I'm just here, which I don't, because I can do something. But you know what I'm saying? And I've always, but how can you get there? So, okay, morning times, you got to be in the gym. Like when I used to work corporate, how do I get free sessions? I would be in the gym morning times if I needed morning clients, if I needed nighttime. But what happens is they only have morning clients on their workout and they leave. But you want clients at night or expect to be fed by your managers. Like I was there, I had no problem. Hey, how you doing? Want to do a session? Luckily, 95% of my client base throughout my entire training career has been referral based. Wow. Even all my athletes and all that. David, everywhere we go, hey, this is my trainer. Oh, you're the guy. So you're the trainer. Oh, hey, when are you gonna put me down? And that speaks volumes for me because it's like, all right, he trusts me. He wouldn't say that if I was just a guy, let alone probably hang out with or keep training. Mm-hmm. And all my clients, like even today, one of my clients, hey, are you still accepting clients right now? I was like, for you, of course.
Wow, man.
And everyone's like, oh, Instagram. Yeah, Instagram, I get a funnel. I get DMs all the time. Most of the time they can't afford. I try to referral. Nice. Hey, look, this is my rate, but I know a trainer in the area or this or that.
They can help.
Yeah, because this is another thing. Everyone is always trying to poach a client, because it's easier to poach a client. I know you're a paying client.
Gotcha.
Right? You've been training, you've been paying consistent. Damn, if I get you, then you just pay me consistent.
Yeah.
But that's not the entire world can be clients. The gym owner can become a client. They don't think about that. Be smart, One of my mentors is like, hey, stay in the parking lot. See who drives what.
Ooh.
It's not shady, but it's smart.
What do you mean? It's business,
right,
bro.
Right? It's correct. Yeah. He pulls up in a Rolls Royce. Hey, how you doing? What's up, bro? Hey, you need a spot? Whatever. But you're hungry. You're moving versus eating shit in the gym and talking and small talk. Like, no, you're moving. And I thought, I was like, damn. Like, hey, look, that girl right now, she put down her bag, that's $3,000 purse. She has 2 Cartier bracelets for $5,000, this and that. And she pulled up in an AMG Mercedes with 80 grand. You think she can afford $1,000 a month? I think
absolutely.
So. I was like, damn. Versus just going blindly, So there's a lot of different, and then you just go out there. And now you have Instagram as a tool. So yeah, you can market yourself. Both. I'm not the greatest on Instagram. Like I
don't know. I beg to differ, bro.
I've grown because of my clientele. Luckily, David, Bahar, Masvidal, all these, but I don't post on a regular. I think aside from the last 2-3 posts, my last post was last year, May.
Wow.
I do stories.
Oh, okay.
That's easier. I do stories, and through the stories, then maybe they go through my, my reels or something, and they're like, hey. So yeah, I get it, but I could be a lot more.
Did you ever have Because it happens to us sometimes, like, oh, should we post? Like, we want to post.
I think way too much about it, which is why I don't. Should I post right now, or should I change this or that? Or,
I won't do it.
Right, and I don't. Which is, I've hired people before to run my social, which they're the ones who kind of brought it up a bit. Then I got over it. Then I have one girl right now who's about to start running my stuff right now again. Just because also when I have, there is a good feedback from it. You know, I do get clients, I do grow. I personally, Instagram's not mine. It's just not. You know?
We say it all the time.
I don't have the time to create the reel and the TikTok and the voiceover and this and then, and it's not that I don't have the ability to, you know, break down the entire program, you know, the program or the exercise sequence and explain it to you. Oh yeah, I can. I just don't want to write all that. I really don't. I don't want to sit there, set one, and this is hitting your glute med and blah, blah, like, I don't want to do that. I really don't. I have more, like, not more important things to not people who do it, no. But I prioritize my time differently.
Dude, we talk about it. It's like, I think it's needed. I mean, because you still have it, right? And you still do it, but I feel like when we're so busy and actually working, sometimes you just like, I mean, you're doing a session, right? And even pulling out your phone and remembering, like, yo, we gotta get this on video. This is some good content.
I usually get like one set of
I know, man.
I'm not the guy who, and I've even thought about hiring like photographer. I've had a few photographers hit me up like, hey, let me know, which I'm all for it, but they're not gonna be here every day either. You know? So it's one of those things, like, I've thought about it. I hate being that guy.
I know,
there, and I need to be focused, you know? So if I'm filming, I can't concentrate, you know? I guess I'm not at that level who has a, you know, photographer 24/7.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, I'll get better slightly. I'm never gonna be there 24/7 posting every day, but I'll get a little.
That's awesome, man. All right, so tell me, if in a perfect world, if you were to dream it out, like, what's next? What's next for Sergio? Like,
I'm working on a few projects. I don't want to put them out there because I've learned, like, I'm doing this, and then it does, you know. Definitely looking to expand in different ways. But yeah, I used to think I wanted to be like that exclusive celebrity trainer, you know, like how Kevin Hart has a trainer. That one guy.
That's it.
Because all right, then I'm getting paid 6 figures, training one guy. Yes, I want more than that, you know. I just see the potential. Like, everyone knows, you have this potential, and like finally, I feel like I'm tapping into it, and I've never taken the opportunity. I've never grasped it. I never said, okay, let's see what I can work with, you know. Which is why this last year I've grown exponentially. But I'm putting myself out there a lot, you know, and mistakes are made and this and that, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, Elon Musk didn't just create Tesla right off the bat, or Bill Gates, or all these people who create all these multi-million, billion-dollar companies or ideas. It was not off of one thing. They failed, and they knew that 17,000 failures were gonna get them that exact product, you know. So like, I'm okay failing for another year or two, you know. I'm getting older, but like, I'm finally vibrating on that frequency to like just bring it. I'll roll with it, you know. So what's next? I mean, a lot of things are next. Yeah. I'm definitely excited.
Could you imagine, like, if you were to look back and like the kid in New York, like growing up in Queens, like, could you imagine like this is what you?
Oh no, I had different visions, you know, from musician, like I played the piano for years, to being an athlete. I was decent, you know. Just different things. And it's funny now, like, I was just at a wedding. My buddy got married, so all my guys from New York came down, which we hadn't been together in like 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and we've all been friends since like 95. You know, so it's like, it's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
So everyone's there, and it was interesting, kind of awarding to like hear them like, yo, like, you're fucking cool, you know, like, yo, dude, and like, it means a lot, you know, in their own ways. They're still bashing.
Yeah, they're probably little shots.
Like,
okay,
okay,
boys about this.
Right. So that, like, you know, they're never gonna be like, dude, you're doing amazing, man. No. It's like, oh, you're whack shit. I know what that means, you know. So, but yeah, it was kind of like, sometimes I don't really like, because I'm very part of this. I am my hardest. Like, I'm a trash trainer. I'm not fit at all. I don't make enough money, this, that, and the other way around is, I know I'm nowhere near that. Like I'm doing like, and I see it differently now, like I'm vibrating differently. But then to like have people who actually care about you, not just like, oh man, good job, but it's kind of like, yo, all right, I'm proud of you. You know, kid from Queens. I grew up 1-bedroom apartment. My mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my aunt, my cousin. Like it was rough growing up in Jackson Heights. You know. So and what I can do now, and then I bring them to my place, and one of them like here, this, that, and even then it's nowhere near. They joke about you know. But like to me, I'm only here to where I want to be. And I don't bring them to my place to show them that. I don't even like, yo, stay with me. And they're like, dude, you couldn't love. You know, I'm not happy for you. I'm just like, thank you. I didn't see it that way, but thank you. So, did I ever see this? No, definitely not in this like route and training and working with like high profile clients, but definitely running with it. You know, definitely. I feel like this is like my niche. This is where I have like my strength, and I'm definitely I don't like to say I'm a networker. I'm a connector of people. You know, like I've been told I have a big heart, and I think that's the biggest thing. Everyone sees, like even David told me, and he's like, dude, you got a big heart. Or he always tells me I should be like a life coach or a public speak or something, because I'm always like, I tell him something where he's going through it, and he's like you should life coach, or you should. Just because I care and I hear you and I want you to be the best version of yourself. That makes me good. Like I said, he catches a 1-yard catch and I'm like, yes, you know, I'm like, let's go. And that doesn't really give me anything, you know, physically, but like I'm ecstatic when that happened. When he got the contract for 16, I was just like, my guy, you know, like I almost like tear up. So like I think my clients see that, you know. So now I'm just kind of going in my pathway and seeing what life gives me. I see the world differently. Where like, you know, we always say like, all right, we got to work this and that, but that's not gonna happen. I'm never gonna make $1 million, or I don't see it that way. You just gotta make all the mistakes.
Yeah, get them out of the way.
You know, so I'm excited for the mistakes. You know? That's it.
Oh, by the way, you are killing it. Like, and
it's
amazing
I'm
to kind of hear you say from your perspective and keep doing it, and like keep doing. If anybody approaches you to do a podcast, like please do it, because you never know if you're going to change. Like you're going to change lives, and it's amazing to kind of be here in your presence and understand kind of what you've done and how you've done it to get to where you're at today. So keep doing it, man.
I appreciate that. This was awesome. This was a great time. I'll do it anytime you guys want.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Dude, this is great, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. This is a blast, bro. This is a blast, bro. Oh, that's it, bro. We're done. We're done.
All right. Sweet.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much, man. This is awesome.
No.
It's such a pleasure to meet you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Killed it, bro.
No.
I was an hour,
was that
bro.
okay? Was that okay? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Absolutely, bro. You killed it. You killed it. Did you like it? Did you like
Yeah,
it?
no,
You think
fun.
we did? Did I do all right?
No, you do. Awesome.